Dual recording?
What's that?
Dual recording?
Dual
in case
recording.
You get it wrong? Okay.
What's that? Yeah.
In case you get it wrong the first time.
Exactly. It automatically corrects.
All right.
It's
cool.
amazing.
Cool.
New technology. You guys should look into it.
Yeah. That's just an iPhone, right?
Yeah, it's an iPhone, iPad,
Okay.
all Apple. All Apple all the time.
All Apple. Yeah, it's our house.
Oh, is it? Yep, that's two.
I was just joking the other day with somebody. We got like 9 iPads in our house, and our kids never use them anymore.
What?
They do everything on their phone.
Oh, really?
So the screen on the new like 7s and 8s
they're
and
so
stuff is
big.
so much bigger and better. The iPads just lay uncharged all over the house.
That's interesting. Yeah, because our high schooler is on her phone, but our younger kids are on the iPads.
Yeah.
So maybe they'll graduate to.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
But my 12-year-old daughter, she watches movies, she watches YouTube, she's all on her phone all the time.
Yeah, ours too.
And frankly, she doesn't have Instagram or Facebook or any of that stuff. She's 12, so we've said 14 is probably the right time to get that started.
Yeah, or Snapchat and all that type of stuff.
Yeah, kids are so mean on that stuff. So
it's that passive aggressive.
Keep her away from it all the time.
Exactly. Good move on you. Good move, man.
Yeah.
All right, let's have some fun here. All right, 3, 2, 1. Hey, everybody. We are here. It's a sunny day in Washington, D.C. here at the 2018
Finally.
GAC. Yeah, finally, exactly. The sun has broken through the clouds, and we're here with Co-op Financial Services. Todd Clark, how are you, sir?
I'm doing well.
Good.
Yeah, feeling really good.
Good. I'm glad you are. Because
it's only the second day of GAC.
It's only the second day,
day,
or second and a half, I think, 2.5, something like that. But anyway, hey, just to kind of break the ice here, how's the conference going for you guys?
I think it's going great.
Yeah?
We had a nice event last night for Chuck Purvis at the Wagner event, and he's going to be our chair in a year and a half or so.
Oh, is he?
Love celebrating that and seeing him get a fine award like that.
Indeed.
And then spent a little time at Thunderstruck last night.
Oh, did you?
I'm a little older than most of the crowd there, but it's nice to see the young up and comers in the credit union movement having a good time, and
our future leaders.
Yeah, that's right.
In that room there.
Yep.
But hey, it's like you said.
They're the people who are doing it right now.
Exactly,
right? So,
exactly. And there's nothing wrong with having a good time. So blow off a little steam and then come back and do your business during the day.
Come back around 10 this morning.
Oh my gosh, no doubt. Hey, let's talk about. It's been quite a year for Co-op. As you well know, you're right in the mix of it, obviously.
Yeah.
So what's going on? I mean, what are some milestones and achievements that you guys?
The fourth quarter of last year, we started putting it out in beta, and we're using it internally. Obviously, when you bring TMG and Co-op together, you sort of have two platforms that people are used to using in their back office to control the cards, right?
Right.
And so what we've done with my Co-op is we've taken all of that, put it behind a single sign-on, and made that single sign-on a higher level, so it's BCI 3.2 compliant. It's higher level of security, but it brings all those things together underneath a single login.
Okay.
And one of the things that it does is if you are doing a debit card base and a credit card base, you've got multiple screens that you typically have to work in to make those things work, right? It keeps all of those open in a persistent login fashion, so as long as you're working in something, all the screens stay open, which is net new. It's a net new thing, because you used to work in this one, and this one over here would time out, right? And
that's
so,
not good.
Yeah, and so you'd spend a lot of time just logging back in,
right?
And so we've eliminated that. As long as you're working in something, it keeps it going. And at the same time, we've raised security, like I said. So next step in the evolution of that is starting to bring all of those applications under a single GUI interface. Well, you may not know, but TMG had a little product called Springboard. Everybody loves that, and we're just further enhancing that, and we're adding more functionality to it all the time, specifically around reports and integrating our debit platform that we had at Co-op prior to the merger.
So is this kind of just an effort to make things a little bit more efficient, more secure, that type of thing?
I think that our tagline or whatever for the conference here is integration is innovation, right? And I think I told you last year, it's not my goal to go out and create the next whiz-bang thing that is going to revolutionize payments for credit unions, because I don't think that's credit unions' place, right? We're not going to change the payments lands. One of the other strategies is make your data available, right? And so we're trying to make that available because there's a whole suite of APIs that go with my Co-op that allow you to interact with us in a way that you like to as a credit union.
Okay, there seems to be like a comfort factor there as well with the security and the easy accessibility, all that type of stuff.
I think that if you can somehow use security and at the same time make things easier, that's you know, if you can elevate security and make things easier, that is innovation.
Yeah, so, indeed. So on the subject of digital transformation, what are some things that you recommend to credit unions to just keep going on that digital journey? I think it's kind of one step at a time.
So let me see if I can remember the 7 off the top of my head, right? One, you know, first is obviously be member first, right? I mean, we got to be thinking about the members and how we interact with them. Utilizing data for everything, right? I mean, there's just so many data points out there in the space. You know, last year we did over 6 billion transactions at Co-op, and that is a lot of data points, right? And if I can take that data and help our credit unions understand what their members are doing every day, merge that with our call center data and our network data and our shared branching data, then that's a powerful measure, right? You know, we all heard Jim talking yesterday about the assets of the credit unions, right? And that being the shared branches and surcharge-free ATMs. Well, those are, you know, Co-op properties, right? So we're thrilled to be a part of that, and using that data in a more meaningful way is one of the ways we will help the movement. Next is make that data available, right? I mean, think about an API strategy. Even if you're a credit union, how can you have a developer portal that allows your members to, you know, bring in, or other people, opportunity to come in and access your data and make products and services that are better for your members. You know, that opening up yourself to the outside world is a great way to think about it, I think. So the way we do that at Co-op is we make our data available. Whether you be big or small, if you want your data in a raw form, you can have your data in a raw form. If you want it in a form that we provide for you, that we put the structure around and help you understand, then you can have that too. So I used to say it was the large credit unions that wanted the data in raw form so they could do it their own way. But the reality is I've stopped thinking about it size-wise. It's more about who's progressive and who's not progressive, who's way down the path on data already.
Good point.
And then I'm there to help the folks that are with my credit union. A month later, I get an ad, I get an offer to finance a car. I'm like, that's not really paying attention to what I've just done, right? I mean, how many cars do you think I really need, right? And car insurance the day after I buy a car would be sort of a cool thing, right? Or 6 months later when it's time to reprice. Machine learning and AI can help you do that.
No doubt.
And then integrating your channels, right? I mean, we showed a study where people, how people start a new account opening procedure at a credit union, and how they end up shifting channels in the middle of that, right? And if you're not integrated there, you could force them to start the whole thing over. And you don't want that, right? So what you want is your channels integrated, and you want, if they start in the mobile app and finish in the branch, you want to know where they are and pick them up right where they are, so you can help them get satisfied quickly without forcing them back to
That's the double-edged sword of all this convenience and all the multiple channels that we're in today. So.
Well, it's you have to be really careful in this digital world, right? Because a bad experience can flip very easily. I was coming back from a trip the other day in Atlanta, and I'm a big Uber user, but my Uber app was telling me there's no cars. And I was like, well, something's weird here, right? So I turned my phone off and turned it back on just to make sure it wasn't my device. Still no cars. So you know what I'm doing? I'm downloading Lyft.
Are you going Lyft?
I'm trying to get my Lyft app up and running so I can get I just want to ride home. And I'm willing to, move just that fast. And I think that this is kind of an on-demand world. People are demanding it, right? So
if there's an alternative, they're going to go to it if option A is not working. So definitely.
And then I guess finally, I think the things that we do, we're thinking about Co-op as an ecosystem, right? And so you can take any piece or part of our ecosystem, but the more you do with us, the more data and the more value you will get out of it, right? For example, if you have your card business with us and your network business with us, shared branching, and we also do your call center, I think we can give you a pretty good picture of what your member does on a daily basis, right? And so it is physically impossible for you to use your card in Detroit today, then also do a shared branching transaction in Los Angeles within the same hours, right? Well, that's an immediate benefit from a fraud perspective. If you're trying to do both, I know at least one of those is not right.
Exactly,
right? And so the more you do with us, the more we can, the more we can.
Much. I know you got a busy schedule here, but I appreciate the time, and thank you as well for supporting our efforts here.
Of course,
Always
of course,
yeah. In this one I do.
No way, you have the access, You're in a unique position. Everybody wants to talk to you, so.
I hope so.
Yeah.
That's the aim.
Hey, and we all got 2 ears and 1 mouth, so it's important to listen.
Let's do this. All right, here we go. Hey, we are here at the 2018 CUNA GAC here in Washington, D.C., and it's a sunny day here, and we're talking to a sunny person here, Michael Matone from Municipal Credit Union.
Oh, yeah.
How are you, man?
I'm doing very sunny at 9:20 in the morning. It's great
Aren't
talking.
We all that way?
Hey, it's great talking to you as usual. GAC is always a great time. We say it's 5,200 of our closest friends getting together for a week in D.C. and advocating for credit unions. So super excited. Right on. Right. Well, glad to have you here. I'm glad to have you back in the studio lounge. Hey, we're talking about something very unique here. Yeah. Very unique to you guys. It's the value of partnerships with sports entities, and you guys have a relationship with the New York Jets. Yeah. So tell us about the importance of this, the value of it. Yeah, we've seen and heard a lot of credit unions asking, how do you derive value out of your partnerships with sports teams? And we are the official credit union of the New York Jets. We have a naming rights sponsorship with the Brooklyn Cyclones minor league baseball. We work with some college sports teams as well, St. John's University basketball. And, a lot of credit unions are saying, hey, how do you gain value out of that? And it's a multifaceted approach. And one of the big things that I've said to all these credit unions is, like any partnership, you understand that, where the value lies sometimes is not on the balance sheet. Right. And there's not, you can't count the beans to figure out exactly, how much value you get. And what we see with the sports entities is they're popular. So we know that we have a lot of members at Municipal Credit Union, 425,000 members strong. We've been around for 100 years, 102 years. And we know that people have an affinity with the New York Jets, with the Brooklyn Cyclones, with St. John's University basketball. So we know that, let's take our value proposition, which is we help members, we're people helping people, and let's build that with the popularity of the sports team. So MCU and the New York Jets partnered on donating $200,000 to New York City Department of Education, a seg of ours, and a big fan base. To help fight bullying. And a big fan base of the Jets for anti-bullying. And, the affinity and the appreciation that comes with something like that, you don't see that on the balance sheet. That's something that, now we're living what we preach, which is people helping people. So where we see a lot of the value in sports partnerships, and all the credit unions out there listening, I'm going to look at the camera now, all you guys listening out there, if you are going to partner with a sports entity, value opportunities out there, you just have to look for them and make sure that you guys have shared values. And that's with any partner, sports partnerships, vendor relationships, anything. Make sure you guys share values. Symbiotic relationship. All right, let's switch gears here a little bit. NCUA payout, $736 million. You had a little thing to say. You want to get on your soapbox here for a second? Yeah. So I'm gonna stop telling everyone how to do their marketing and partnerships, and I'm gonna throw on my NCUA hat. Sure. Everyone is excited to get money. Sure. I don't think anyone in this world has ever said no when someone has said, "Hey, I want to hand you a check." Right. But I think the important thing, and the thing that should not be missed in our industry, is that the NCUA, Chairman McWaters, Rick Metzger, and everyone at the NCUA, it is evident they are taking a more risk management approach to everything that they're doing, which is important, and it's good for credit unions. Right. We need to look past the fact that we're getting money. We at MCU, that if we get a check, fantastic. If we don't, okay. Our primary concern is the next time there's a rainy day, we're prepared for it. And I think the NCUA is doing a great job of not worrying about, how do we, regulate individual credit unions. It's how do we monitor and oversee the industry to make sure that we are safe and sound. And we at MCU love that approach. We think it's a very smart approach and a responsible approach by the NCUA, who has a responsibility to make sure that our industry is safe and sound. That's what they're tasked to do. And I really feel like they are going in that direction a lot faster than they might have been in years past. But I think that Chairman McWaters and the whole NCUA team, are looking at it from a risk management perspective, understanding that there is risk in the world and we have to manage it. Not trying to just say, all right, we need to mitigate risk at every turn, but there are going to be some things that we have to deal with. Let's make sure that we're prepared to deal with them. You know, I think a couple credit unions say, like, oh, you know, I wish it was more than $736 million. We don't. We think that the NCUA did great work in figuring out the exact number that they can give back.
Yeah.
And to do more or less, you know, obviously this is the number they came up with, knowing that they have to prepare for the long term.
Gotcha.
So we're appreciative of
your enthusiasm and bring it here in the lounge. You're always welcome.
Yep, and shout out to the Crashers. I'm a young professional still, you know, despite this going on, I'm 32.
Good for you.
But shout out to the Crashers. The future of our movement's very